If you're a big Hollywood celebrity, it follows that you're worth a lot of money, especially with all of your movies that you have done and all the endorsements and sponsorships you get from big-name companies all over the world. But that isn't always the case for all celebrities, because it still depends on the person's celebrity status and, of course, his or her marketability. One celebrity that is never short of star power because of his combination of talent, good looks, marketability, and unique personality is Ryan Reynolds. As the face behind the mask of the box office hit Deadpool, and the voice of the iconic detective Pikachu, Ryan Reynolds is known for being one of the quirkiest personalities in all of Hollywood, and for bringing life to characters he portrays on screen. Ask yourself if you can imagine someone else playing Wade Wilson in Deadpool. You probably can't, right? Well, that's the effect of Ryan Reynolds' acting magic. Because of his status as a celebrity, there's no doubt that Ryan Reynolds will cost any movie producer a lot of money. His base salary in Deadpool was $2 million, but he got a lot of bonuses from the money that the movie made after it became a hit in the box office. But don't let that green fool you, because Ryan Reynolds started out making $150 weekly on the Nickelodeon show 15 when he was still 15 years old back in 1991. From $150 to a couple of $1 million, Ryan Reynolds has certainly worked his way up the ladder and now has an estimated net worth of $150 million. Thanks not only to his movie salaries and endorsement deals, but also to his smart business moves and investments. So how does someone so good-looking and talented spend all of his money? In this case, let's figure out how Ryan Reynolds spends his millions. House. It's no secret that celebrities love to spend their money on houses because of how these guys actually need to live somewhere whenever they aren't shooting their movies, or they're not touring the world for their jobs. In most cases, Hollywood celebrities tend to stay close to Los Angeles for obvious reasons. That was what Ryan Reynolds did back when he was still married to Scarlett Johansson. He bought a house that was priced at $1.7 million back in 2007, when the real estate market was still pricey back then. The house is located in Hollywood Hills and has 2 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a remodeled cook's kitchen, and landscape yards. Pretty small for a pricey home, but Reynolds and Johansson didn't stay in that home. After the divorce, Reynolds sold the property for only $1.4 million, which proved to be a loss for him. Still though, it was good riddance for a house that he didn't really use. Speaking of Scarlett Johansson, Ryan Reynolds and his ex-wife lived in a different house back when they were still married. This house is a classic mid-century modern home designed by Buff and Hensman in 1969. Perched on nearly a half an acre, the glass-walled home features sprawling views of the cities below. Typical of an outdoor California lifestyle, the home's enormous living areas open out to spacious decks, a saltwater pool, and grassy yard. After the couple divorced, they were able to sell the house for $3.5 million. Ryan Reynolds has since moved on and began dating Blake Lively almost right after his divorce with the Avengers star. The Deadpool superstar went on to marry the face of Gossip Girl in 2012, and they purchased a home in 2012 worth more than $5.7 million. The property sits on 11.65 acres of space, including an outdoor barn. It has 7 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms across. And instead of settling in California, this time Ryan Reynolds settled with his wife in Pound Ridge in New York. The home is simple enough and lacks the flair of most of the mansions that the usual celebrities tend to have. It doesn't come with the luxury that you would expect from a home that was meant for celebrities just an hour away from Manhattan. And the best thing about it is that Ryan Reynolds has embraced the quiet life in this cozy neighborhood. Even the locals describe him and his wife as really nice whenever they go out to town to buy their groceries. That's typical of a man who voices Detective Pikachu. Private garage. Deadpool loves to ride in style. Ryan Reynolds is still the typical celebrity despite how quirky his nature might be. That means that he has a nagging need for speed and has a private garage that is filled with his collection of cars and motorcycles. This collection includes a Cadillac Escalade, which has somehow become the go-to SUV for most American celebrities. A typical Escalade would cost at least $70,000. Ryan Reynolds also owns a cute and small Nissan Leaf that starts out at $31,000. Like the typical celebrity who has gotten used to the Los Angeles culture, Ryan Reynolds also owns a Toyota Prius, which is the most popular hybrid vehicle on the market today. A Prius would cost around $24,000. But that's not all, because Ryan Reynolds also owns a Chevrolet Equinox that he was seen driving in his home city of Vancouver, Canada. The Canadian-American celebrity probably bought his Equinox at around $23,000. Of course, being the typical boy that he is, Ryan Reynolds owns an American muscle car. His Dodge Challenger is priced at about $30,000 and may even be somewhere north of that. So if you notice anything here in Ryan Reynolds' car collection, he's someone who probably likes quantity more than quality, as some other celebrities would rather splurge their money on fancy, luxurious cars that can easily cost over $100,000. But Ryan Reynolds also has a collection of motorcycles. His vintage 1975 Honda CB750 is one of the showstoppers of his collection, and is usually priced at about $2,000 to $9,000 depending on the condition. Ryan Reynolds also has a custom-built 1964 Triumph 650 called the 9 O'Clock. We can only assume that this motorcycle isn't cheap as well. A fan of vintage motorcycles, Ryan Reynolds owns a Ducati 750 SS, similar to what Paul Smart used back in 1972. And last but not least is his Triumph Bonneville, a classic motorcycle that was built somewhere around the 50s up to the early 80s. So if you've noticed anything, Ryan Reynolds is more of a motorcycle guy than a car guy, because he'd rather spend money on vintage motorcycles than on luxury cars. Well, that may be an offshoot of his unique personality. Blake Lively. Blake Lively is by no means a poor woman because she herself is actually pretty loaded as well. With an estimated net worth of $16 million, the Gossip Girl star is a millionaire that is not afraid of spending her money. But let's be real, what's mine is yours, right? That means whatever Blake Lively is spending is also what Ryan Reynolds is spending. And we know how women of style and taste can easily spend a lot of money on the finer things in life. One of the most expensive things that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively spent on were the $2 million worth of jewels that they sported during the 2018 Met Gala. Who would spend a couple of $1 million for a single event? Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, apparently. Blake Lively has also proven herself to be a real-life counterpart of her Gossip Girl character Serena Woodsen, because she does love a good shopping trip together with Ryan Reynolds. Let's just hope that our good pal Ryan Reynolds has a chair to sit on while his wife is out there spending thousands of dollars on designer clothes, jewelry, and accessories. The couple also spent a good amount of money on their wedding in 2012, but most of the money they spent for a different reason because their wedding was intimate and secret. Instead, because of the cultural and historical insensitiveness of the venue of their wedding, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively had to donate $1.2 million in total to charity. So the next time you're thinking about having a wedding, make sure that you do so in a culturally appropriate venue. Ryan Reynolds and that little boo-boo of his proved that it pays to make a mistake. Business ventures. Ryan Reynolds has remained rich and is continuing to increase his net worth as this talented star has acquired interests in several businesses. In 2018, Ryan Reynolds acquired a stake in Aviation American Gin, which he said that he personally wanted to oversee as a creative director because of how his interests with that business went beyond ownership and money. In November 2019, Ryan Reynolds purchased a stake in Mint Mobile, which is a mobile virtual network operator that is operating on T-Mobile's network. In July 2020, he joined the board of Match Group, which is a tech company that oversees most of the major dating apps and websites that can be found all over America and even the entire world. So what can you learn from Ryan Reynolds as an investor? Well, granted that not everyone can make the purchases that he has made because he's worth $150 million, there's still a lesson here, because Reynolds diversified his portfolio from a higher-priced alcohol company like Aviation American Gin to a low-priced company like Mint Mobile. He basically showed that you don't have to go all out on the high-priced companies if you want to earn the big bucks as an investor, because the smaller companies can be just as safe and lucrative as well. Charity. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively form a powerful couple of celebrities that are not afraid to give back to the community with their generosity. Aside from the $1.2 million they donated to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund as a way to compensate their blunder in their wedding, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively have also been active in other charities, such as donating $1 million to the Young Center for Immigrant Children's Rights in 2019. The couple also donated $250,000 to both Covenant House Vancouver and Covenant House Toronto, an organization which Reynolds has been supporting for a long time. That makes a total of $500,000. If they're that generous to children that aren't theirs, just imagine what they're willing to spend for their actual children. Is there a legal way for us to get adopted by Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively? Well, hopefully so, because we'd also love to have a piece of that $150 million net worth. Face it, not everyone has the looks and talents of a Ryan Reynolds, but that doesn't mean that you can't earn and make money as well as he does. So if you want to be like Ryan Reynolds as an investor or as a future celebrity, please leave a like on our video and follow Spending Billions to get notified whenever we upload another video of millionaire celebrities spending their hard-earned money.